Imagine waking up every morning to the sound of your alarm, a sharp reminder that another day has begun. You dress in your crisp suit, sip your carefully brewed coffee, and head out the door to your job. On paper, you are the embodiment of success. A steady paycheck, a respectable title, maybe even a shiny car or a luxury apartment. But inside, something gnaws at you, a persistent emptiness, a whisper of doubt that you're chasing a mirage. This is the paradox of modern life. The world tells us, if you work hard enough, if you climb the ladder, if you accumulate wealth and status, you will be happy. You will be fulfilled. Yet millions find themselves trapped in this cycle, their achievements feeling hollow and their ambitions suddenly meaningless. What if everything you've been chasing, success, happiness, fulfillment, is an illusion? Not just a personal failure or a bad day, but a carefully constructed social mirage designed to keep you running on a treadmill of endless striving? This video is about breaking that illusion, because here's the truth. Society sells us a fragmented, incomplete version of success. It's a story told to keep us compliant, busy enough to consume, distracted enough to forget what truly matters. True transformation, deep, lasting change, remains elusive for most. Not because it's impossible, but because the very definition of success they offer is built on shaky foundations. Over the next 20 to 30 minutes, you're invited to journey beyond this illusion. Together, we'll unravel the layers of societal conditioning, historical myths, and psychological traps that define our modern understanding of success. We'll explore the forces that manipulate our desires and shape our realities, forces so subtle they go unnoticed until we choose to see them. And then, we'll chart a new path, a 6-month plan designed not just to help you achieve, but to fundamentally transform your relationship with success, purpose, and yourself. This isn't a quick fix or a motivational pep talk. It's a deep dive into the architecture of your mind and the structures of the world you inhabit. If you're ready to question everything you thought you knew about success, if you're ready to take the first step toward reclaiming your autonomy and redefining what it means to truly thrive, then stay with me. Because what comes next is not just about changing your life. It's about transforming the very way you understand it. Throughout history, the meaning of success has been anything but fixed. It has shifted, morphed, and been reshaped by the needs and values of each era. To understand the illusion we live under today, we must first step back and trace the lineage of success from its earliest roots. In ancient civilizations, success was synonymous with power and legacy. Kings and emperors built empires not merely to rule, but to be remembered for centuries. Success meant dominance over others, control of resources, and an unyielding grip on one's fate. The individual's value was measured in relation to their ability to extend influence, often at the expense of others. Fast forward to the Industrial Revolution, a seismic shift that changed not only how goods were produced, but how societies defined achievement. Suddenly, success became linked to productivity, efficiency, and wealth accumulation. The factory whistle replaced the royal decree, and the rise of capitalism turned human labor into a commodity. The modern idea of success, then, was born in this crucible of machines and markets. To succeed was to produce more, consume more, and climb the socio-economic ladder. But this narrative is not just a benign evolution. It has been weaponized as a tool of control. Friedrich Nietzsche, one of history's most provocative philosophers, exposed the raw drive beneath human ambition, the will to power. Nietzsche argued that beneath the polished veneer of societal norms lies an intrinsic force pushing individuals to assert dominance, to impose their will. This will can be noble or destructive, but it is the engine of what many call success. Yet Nietzsche also warned of the herd mentality, a conformity that stifles true individuality by imposing artificial ideals. Around the same time, Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, offered a counterpoint. His teachings emphasized self-mastery, virtue, and inner freedom, success not defined by external circumstances, but by one's relationship to them. For Epictetus, the greatest success was to rise above the chaos of life and cultivate an unshakable mind. This philosophy challenges today's obsession with external markers like wealth or status and reminds us that the real battle is internal. Modern thinkers and critics have taken these insights further. Many argue that capitalism's version of success serves the interests of the few, not the many. It reinforces hierarchies, creating a system where people are encouraged to compete relentlessly rather than collaborate meaningfully. Success becomes less about fulfillment and more about survival within a machine designed to perpetuate inequality. This historical and philosophical context reveals a stark truth. What society offers as success often demands conformity rather than freedom, control rather than authenticity. It's a story told over millennia, shaped by power, economics, and ideology, yet it remains incomplete. The narrative leaves out the human cost, the lost individuality, and the hollow victories of those who climb the ladder only to find it leaning against the wrong wall. Understanding these roots is essential because it lays bare the structures we inherit. It forces us to ask, are we chasing a dream crafted for us by forces beyond our awareness? And if so, what does it mean to break free and create a new definition of success, one that honors our deepest values and true selves? What drives the relentless pursuit of success? To answer this, we must look inward, into the intricate machinery of the human mind, where desire, fear, and habit collide in a ceaseless dance. At the heart of our craving for success lies a complex web of cognitive biases and neurochemical responses. One of the most powerful is the dopamine reward system. When we achieve something, a promotion, a compliment, a milestone, our brain releases dopamine, the neurotransmitter linked to pleasure and motivation. This chemical hit reinforces our behavior, compelling us to seek the next win. It's a cycle of craving and reward, deeply wired to keep us chasing the next achievement, the next validation. But this system, while essential for survival and progress, also traps us. The anticipation of success can feel as intoxicating as success itself, blinding us to the deeper costs. We fall prey to confirmation bias, selectively seeing evidence that supports our pursuit and ignoring signs that question its value or sustainability. The mind becomes a stage where our fears and desires script a story that may not serve our true well-being. And then there are the mental prisons built by imposter syndrome and fear of failure. Many who chase success silently wrestle with an internal voice telling them they don't deserve their achievements, that sooner or later they will be exposed as frauds. This fear paralyzes, causing procrastination or perfectionism, and often leading to burnout. Society amplifies this pressure, rewarding only visible triumphs and sidelining struggles or setbacks. From a neuroscientific perspective, the battle between short-term gratification and long-term goals is central to why many fail to sustain success. The brain's limbic system seeks immediate pleasure, while the prefrontal cortex, responsible for planning and self-control, must override these impulses to achieve lasting change. This biological tension explains why good intentions falter and why habits once formed become so difficult to break or reshape. Perhaps most insidiously, many are trapped by the need for external validation. Success becomes a mirror held up by society, reflecting only what others deem worthy. We begin to measure ourselves by likes, promotions, titles, or social status. Our sense of worth becomes dependent on approval outside ourselves, making us vulnerable to manipulation and disillusionment. This cycle perpetuates a destructive feedback loop. We chase success to feel worthy, but the fleeting nature of external praise leaves us empty, driving us to chase even harder. True psychological freedom then demands a shift from external to internal validation. It means rooting self-worth in our own values, efforts, and growth rather than in others' fleeting judgments. It means learning to listen to the quiet signals of our well-being, even when they contradict the loud calls of societal expectations. Understanding the psychology behind success and failure reveals why transformation is rarely just a matter of willpower or hard work. It shows us the unseen forces within us, the internal landscapes that shape our actions and reactions, and it challenges us to rewrite the narrative, to break free from mental traps and build a success that serves not only our ambitions, but our deeper selves. In today's world, success is no longer just an individual pursuit. It is a carefully manufactured spectacle, a product designed, packaged, and sold by powerful forces that shape our desires and distort our reality. Modern media, advertising, and social platforms have become the architects of what success looks like. They flood our senses with images of perfection, glossy lifestyles, effortless achievements, and endless consumption. This constant bombardment creates a relentless loop of comparison, envy, and dissatisfaction. No matter how much we attain, it never feels enough because the bar keeps moving, always higher, always just out of reach. Behind this lies a sophisticated machinery of propaganda and cognitive manipulation, algorithms, designed to capture and hold our attention, exploit our psychological vulnerabilities with alarming precision. They feed us what we want to see, reinforcing our biases, amplifying our fears, and deepening our insecurities. This digital echo chamber narrows our vision of success to a consumerist dream. More possessions, more status, more visibility. Social media influencers exemplify this phenomenon. They project images of flawless success, luxury vacations, perfect bodies, unshakable confidence. But beneath these polished facades often lies a carefully curated performance, a construct engineered to attract followers, likes, and brand deals. The influencer culture sells the illusion that success is immediate and effortless, masking the sacrifices, struggles, and contradictions hidden behind the scenes. This manufactured dream is not just misleading, it is dangerous. It conditions us to value appearance over substance, consumption over creation, and approval over authenticity. It traps us in a superficial race where true fulfillment is sidelined in favor of fleeting validation. What's more, this modern trap echoes ancient patterns. Just as power structures once used myths and rituals to maintain control, today's media industries use technology and psychology to shape collective beliefs and behaviors. Success becomes a tool of social control, keeping us distracted, compliant, and divided. The consequences are profound. We become disconnected from our own values, from genuine relationships, and from the deeper meaning that sustains human life. We trade our individuality for curated identities and our freedom for scripted narratives. Recognizing this manufactured dream is the first step toward breaking free. It calls for critical awareness, a refusal to accept images and messages at face value, a willingness to question the forces that seek to define our worth and dictate our desires. Only by reclaiming our perception of success, rooted in authenticity, purpose, and intrinsic fulfillment, can we begin to dismantle the trap. The path ahead requires courage to resist the seductive pull of illusion and to build a new narrative grounded in reality, depth, and true self-knowledge. The journey from illusion to authentic success is neither swift nor simple. It demands a deliberate, sustained effort, a radical reimagining of your relationship with yourself and the world. This is why the transformation we propose unfolds over 6 months, each phase carefully designed to dismantle the old and build the new. Months 1 and 2 begin with self-awareness and the breaking of illusions. This is the foundation, where the first cracks appear in the facades we've long accepted. It requires honesty, courage, and an openness to discomfort. Meditation becomes a tool, not just for relaxation, but for piercing through mental clutter, allowing you to observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment. Journaling serves as a mirror, reflecting hidden patterns, fears, and desires that have shaped your path. Shadow work, the process of confronting the parts of yourself you've buried or denied, pushes you deeper. It's not easy, but it's essential. Only by exposing these shadows can you begin to release the false narratives that have kept you trapped. As these 2 months close, you'll start seeing the first signs of clarity. The illusions that once dictated your actions lose their grip, making space for genuine insight. Months 3 and 4 shift focus to rebuilding foundational habits. Success is not built on inspiration alone. It's sustained by routine and discipline. Physical health is paramount. A body neglected is a mind compromised. Simple daily practices, consistent sleep, mindful nutrition, regular movement, become acts of self-respect. Mental clarity follows, nurtured through continued mindfulness and intentional rest, breaking the cycle of burnout and distraction. Emotional resilience is cultivated through techniques like cognitive reframing and controlled exposure to discomfort, allowing you to face challenges without retreating or reacting impulsively. These months are about reinforcing the vessel that carries your transformation, grounding your mind and body in preparation for the deeper work ahead. Month 5 invites you to align your personal values with your goals. This is a philosophical inquiry, a moment of profound questioning. What truly matters to you beyond societal definitions of success? What principles guide your decisions, your actions, your vision for the future? Value mapping exercises help to clarify these priorities, distinguishing between inherited expectations and authentic desires. This alignment is crucial because goals devoid of personal meaning are fragile, easily shattered by setbacks or external pressure. In this phase, you begin crafting a new narrative, one where success is a reflection of your inner truth rather than a mere response to external demands. Month 6 is the culmination, manifestation through action and sustained practice. Ideas and intentions meet the world in real, measurable ways. Goal setting becomes strategic and values-driven, focusing on incremental progress rather than instant perfection. Community building emerges as a vital pillar, surrounding yourself with supportive, like-minded individuals who reinforce your growth and hold you accountable. This collective dimension transforms solitary effort into a shared movement. Real-world impact is the ultimate test of transformation. It asks not only, have I changed, but how does my change ripple outward? Here, success transcends the personal and touches the communal, creating feedback loops of meaning and motivation. Psychological shifts underpin this entire process. The move from external validation to intrinsic motivation redefines success itself. Where once approval from others dictated your worth, now your self-assessment is grounded in consistent practice, personal growth, and alignment with core values. This 6-month plan is not about quick wins or superficial hacks. It's about deep structural change, a rebellion against the scripted success story that society offers. It demands patience, persistence, and above all, honesty. Consider the example of a person who begins this journey feeling trapped by a demanding career and societal expectations. In the first 2 months, they confront the fear and doubt lurking beneath their achievements. By the 3rd and 4th months, they've rebuilt habits that sustain their energy and focus. In the 5th month, they realize that what they truly want is creative freedom and meaningful connection, not just status. By the 6th month, they've taken concrete steps, perhaps launching a passion project or fostering a community that reflect this new understanding of success. This transformation is neither easy nor guaranteed. It requires confronting uncomfortable truths and relinquishing familiar comforts. But for those who commit, the reward is profound. A life reclaimed from illusion, infused with purpose, and defined by authentic success. True success has never been about wealth, status, or the applause of others. These are shadows cast by a culture that confuses external markers with inner fulfillment. The essence of success lies elsewhere, in autonomy, in self-mastery, in the alignment of one's life with deeply held values. To truly succeed is to reclaim the freedom to define your own purpose, to act with integrity regardless of external approval, and to cultivate a mind and spirit resilient to life's inevitable challenges. It is a journey inward, demanding honesty and courage to confront the illusions that have long shaped your identity. Transformation is possible, but it is not easy. It requires a willingness to dismantle the comfortable narratives sold to us, stories that promise happiness through consumption, competition, and conformity. These narratives are scripts written by systems that benefit from our distraction and compliance. Choosing to rewrite your story is an act of rebellion. This 6-month plan is more than a set of steps. It is a commitment to yourself, a declaration that you will no longer be a passive participant in a predefined success story. It invites you to awaken, to question, and to build a life that reflects your authentic self rather than society's expectations. The path ahead will test you. There will be moments of doubt, struggle, and discomfort, but within these moments lies the opportunity for profound growth and freedom. Every step you take toward awareness, discipline, and alignment brings you closer to a version of success that sustains rather than drains, that empowers rather than confines. Now is the time to begin. To step off the treadmill of illusion and into a journey of real transformation. To reject the shallow promises of hollow victories and embrace a life of meaning and purpose. If you choose to embark on this journey, remember, you are not alone. Countless others are awakening to the truth that success is not given, it is created, and it begins within. The question is simple. Are you ready to transform your life? Because true success is waiting, not in distant achievements, but in the conscious, courageous act of becoming who you were always meant to be.